G'day guys, and today Shorty and I are doing our tips for round 14 of the Toyota AFL season. How did we go last week, matey?
Okay, mate. Not
Okay.
too bad. Yeah, I think I got 5.
4 or 5 for me as well, mate.
Yeah, we picked the same. I can't quite remember, but
All I remember is Richmond won over the Swannies, and I'm not sure about the rest.
Yeah.
But I think we did alright.
but pretty stock standard week, I think.
No, that's the way, mate. I've done alright over the buys, so
Yeah.
no, I'm pretty happy with that.
I'm trying to get rid of the buys.
And now we're about to get rid of the buys because it's 9 once again. So
which is good.
first game up we have is Sydney and Port Adelaide at the SCG. How's this one going to go?
I've tipped the Swans by 29 points, mate. Despite them
intriguing.
losing to the Tigers, Port Adelaide are just a rabble at the moment. I don't know what's going on with them.
Yeah, they're struggling big time.
Yeah, they'll come off the bye, but Robbie Gray may or may not play, but either way, I think definitely at the SCG, I think the Swans will just be far too strong.
You would think so.
Yeah.
I've gone with the Swannies by 30 points, one more point than you, mate.
Yep.
So we both expect a pretty similar contest. Again, Port Adelaide aren't that great. They're going terrible, and away from home doesn't help them. If this is one game, though, that they could flick the switch, it's Port Adelaide, but would not back them in for my life. So
No, they're cool.
Swans easily. Hawthorn and Collingwood, the MCG. This will be a pretty good game. No, not the Hawks. Collingwood have not beaten the Hawks since the 2011 preliminary final.
Oh, really? Well, there you go.
Really, mate, that is legit.
Yeah, I feel like it might be close, but I still think the Hawks will get the job done. I've tipped them by 17. They were sort of scrappy against the Bombers, weren't they?
Yeah, I was
for a half
surprised
and then
by the result.
switched it on, but yeah, it's a bit of a danger game. The Pies are looking pretty good. Had a gallant loss, I guess. You know, they pushed the Dockers.
They did very
really
well.
close, which suggests that it's pretty close to the real deal. But hence why I think it might be close. But
Certainly.
I can't see them getting the points.
It's very tough to see that happening, and I've gone with the Hawks by 14 points. I think they're just a bit of a better side on this occasion, and that record in mind, haven't beaten them since the 2011 preliminary final, when they were the best team basically in the competition. So, and they're not far from it, but they're not quite there. And the Hawks are still going nicely, so they should get the win.
Yeah, sounds good.
Richmond and GWS at the MCG. GWS have taken a bit of a hit the last sort of couple of weeks. How's this one going to go?
Yeah, it's a really interesting one. I mean, the Tigers look great, don't they? But
They do.
this is
but,
the type of match that
but
they can lose. They're very good, seemingly of late, to win away or even when they're not expected. But
against the top 3 sides of the competition.
yeah, they struggle with the favourite tag almost. Not like the big favourite, like they beat the easy teams, of course, but that sort of 50-51. So
yeah,
it'll just be interesting whether the Giants, with those injuries, are and quite a bottom side now, or whether they are still capable of matching it. So, with all that talking in mind, I have tipped Richmond by 8 points, but I think it might be close. Yeah, I think they'll win, but close.
Certainly, I've gone with the Tigers by 22 points. I think their injuries have taken a huge toll on them, and again, I'm not convinced that the Tigers will absolutely smash them either.
Yeah.
So that's hence my margin there. I think they're going along nicely, but again, this will be a big test for them.
Yeah, they need to win it if they want to really cement themselves.
Yeah, top 8 or even top 4 we've been hearing about, so we will talk about that after. I'm intrigued to hear your thoughts. The next game we have up is Gold Coast and North Melbourne at Metricon Stadium.
Yeah, another interesting clash here, I reckon.
I reckon you're probably right. It's a similar sort of feel with two very similar, probably 4 very similar teams in 2 blocks.
Yeah, exactly. I've tipped the Roos by 10 points, so a similar tip as well.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I mean, Ablett will be back, so there's something, and they'll probably get a few...
Is he definitely back?
I couldn't say definitely, but they did say today on the radio that he was chosen not to play this week to be right for next week. To be
right, okay.
Definite, they said. So that's all I can go by.
I'll go with 80 to 90% on that one then.
Yeah, that's right. Still not sold fully on what the Roos are capable on any given day. Who knows? And up at Metricon, they have struggled at times. So
I feel like that used to be the home ground.
Did it? Okay.
I can't remember what it used to be called, but anyway.
No idea, mate. I just remember one time the Suns upset the Roos up there. I think Trent McKenzie had it on the string, but yeah, I think North will get the job done, but it could be a potential upset game.
Definitely. I've gone with North Melbourne by 31 points. Not overly confident on that one, to be honest.
But, by the lazy 5 goal.
Yeah, I think that's probably they're a 5 goal better side, but whether they perform that way or not, I'm not sure. Gold Coast, I think it's more than Gary Ablett, but definitely he's a big piece to the puzzle.
Yeah.
And I feel like North could just switch it on fresh after the bye. Who sees? Well, who knows how they go, and we will see. So there you go. There's that other connection.
Very cool.
Beautiful. I've gone. Well, next one. Western Bulldogs and Carlton at Etihad Stadium.
Yeah, it's another iffy game.
Oh, mate. Jeez, these iffy games are all over the
Bunch
place.
of iffy games. I've tipped the Dogs by 3 goals, but yeah, it's hard to tell. I mean, the Blues have been pretty good since Barker's come in, so they've showed some pretty good signs, had a few wins here and there. The Doggies continue to be pretty impressive, but again, they only just got over the Saints, so I see the Saints as probably like bottom 4 side. So
yeah, it's interesting. They're a bottom 4 side, but they don't play like one.
Yeah, it's quite strange, and I see the Dogs as a lower top 8 team. So that, how do you want to read it? The Saints performing better, the Dogs worse. Not sure, but that in mind, I'm still going to tip the Doggies by 3 goals.
Solid there, mate. I've gone with the Western Bulldogs by 5 points. I think they're just a bit better than Carlton. Carlton have done well over the Bulldogs in recent years. Okay. So if you want to take a historical look at things, it's going to be very close. So sometimes you don't know what you're going to get with these teams. You would think the Western Bulldogs just, but I'm not too sure. I'll go with them anyway.
Yeah, fair enough, mate.
Confidence. Melbourne and the West Coast Eagles at TIO Stadium. Speaking of interesting clashes, mate.
Where the hell is that ground? Is that Cairns or Alice Springs?
I feel like it's Alice Springs, Darwin, maybe.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a tough ground to play at. I'd be interested to know if the Eagles ever have played there.
I don't feel like they have.
They normally play Port Adelaide and
and Melbourne are usually the 2 teams that go there, and I reckon they already have played there this year, actually.
Have they? Yeah, there you go. But look, I'm tipping the Eagles by 13, but that closest sort of margin, just because of the conditions and stuff, Melbourne play there quite a bit.
Certainly.
And if I'm correct in saying the Eagles haven't played there before, well, that'll take a little bit of adjusting. So
you would think so.
But the D's did knock off us too, so we can't undersell their performance. But the Eagles are seemingly the real deal after seeing them on TV a couple of times. So
they've been playing pretty well.
Yeah, I'll tip them just.
Yeah. I've gone with the Eagles by 17 points. There's been some close margins, mate, between you and me. They've been sort of around the same mark.
Yeah.
I think the D's will just get a bit of a reality check here with the Eagles, but it's, TIO Stadium. Who knows what you're going to get from there from both teams, really. Yeah. Conditions are tricky to adjust to. Maybe the Eagles are more accustomed to the wet conditions, or not wet conditions, but sort of dry, greasy conditions in the west and whatnot. So I think they're a little bit better. And Melbourne, you can see them being a bit inconsistent at times, being a young and developing side. So I think the Eagles will get the job done just.
Very good, mate. Very good.
Essendon St Kilda at the Etihad Stadium again. Another tough one.
Yeah, I mean, I've tipped the Bombers. Yeah,
okay. No, you've already answered the question, mate.
I have. I've tipped them by 21 points, but that being said, not a great deal of confidence in them. I mean, they showed signs of what they can do, but again, their tall forwards just let them down when they're on top. With that goal kicking is really costly, and they don't really have a true ruckman, and there's quite a few holes in their side. But I mean, I didn't get to see the Saints play the Dogs, so it's hard for me to. They're obviously impressive, but it's hard for me to gauge. So, but I will tip the Dons. They need a win, and I think they'll perform. So.
They need a win. Yeah.
What do you reckon?
I've gone with a bit of an upset here, mate. I've gone with the Saints by 3 points. Yeah. They nearly pipped them last time, and the Bombers, I reckon, were arguably going along better than they are at the moment. So, with that said, I think the Saints in pretty good form. They've been extremely competitive against most teams, really. So, I think they're in for a sneaky win here, mate. Who knows?
Bit of an upset. I like it, mate.
I need to have one. Yeah. So, I need to catch up to you a little bit, and I genuinely believe the Bombers aren't that great.
Yeah, I agree with you. So it was a tough.
And you're not confident anyway. So there you go. But
nicely done.
Awesome. All right, Adelaide and Geelong at Adelaide Oval. I don't think this would really matter even if it was at Simmons at the moment, mate, with their form. But I'm almost suggested the tip right there. But how do we see it?
Yeah, no, you did suggest it. You said exactly what I'm sort of thinking. I mean, Adelaide, I've tipped them just by 3 points. I think it'll be a real close game.
Okay, yeah.
Rory Sloane's out.
That's a fair point.
Not that he makes an amazing amount of difference, but I just can't tip us at the moment. Just after that performance against the D's, he just
uninspiring.
It just sort of highlighted that I'm not quite sure what we're gonna dish up.
Yeah, exactly.
They've shaken my confidence to tip them, mate. And I know we went over to Port Adelaide and won in Adelaide, but I think it might be a different story against the Crows. I think they're a bit better of a side. had a bit of a hurdle against Brisbane, but got the job done still.
They did, yeah.
But yeah, I won't be tipping the Cats, unfortunately.
Fair enough, mate, and that's okay because I'm not tipping them either.
Yeah,
so I've gone with the
okay.
Crows by 28 points. I think it can be anywhere between maybe 4 to 7 goals. It just depends what we dish up. Like we could be amazing, like the game against Port Adelaide, and blow them out of the blocks almost.
That's right, we could.
So,
yeah.
But reality is, it's unlikely that we will. So yeah, we're not going that well at the moment. And the Crows, they are a decent side without being a good side, but being away, anything away is hard for us.
Yeah, we've got to tip with the odds, don't we? I mean, odds are we won't.
The
get
percentages, yeah, you got to go with them, mate. So that's my tip there. But the final one, Fremantle and the Brisbane Lions at Domain Stadium. I feel like they have not scored more than 6 goals against the Dockers since the last 4 or 5 years.
Wow, well, they're not going to win doing that, mate.
Yeah, they haven't scored much. I reckon it's their bogey team for sure.
Yeah. Well, after a few close games throughout this round, I don't see this one being too close. I think the Dockers will get it done pretty comfortably.
Yeah, I reckon.
I've tipped them by 39, and in hindsight, I think that could be generous.
Yeah, I saw it and I thought, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe generous, but
yeah,
it's fine.
Sometimes you just write down a number, but
You do, doesn't matter.
that could be best case scenario. But look, they're going to be angry. They weren't at their best against the Pies.
No.
They haven't quite been at their best.
No, for the last few weeks, yeah, probably the last month or so.
Yeah, the Lions may run into a Dockers side eager to bounce back and just remind everyone that they are a real premiership threat and one of the best teams in the comp. So,
yes, hopefully.
Unfortunately, they could be on the end of one here, so we'll wait and see.
4 Lions. I've gone with the Dockers by 49 points. I don't think they'll absolutely obliterate them. They normally don't, but they just keep them to a really low score, like 35 points, and the Dockers kick 80 something. So they don't absolutely kill them, but they're the premiership contending team, and Brisbane are not that great of a side. So it's an open Domain Stadium. You're not going to do too well there. So pretty simple one for me.
Yeah.
Put your house on it if you want. Don't even bother doing that because I don't want to be held liable for that.
Yeah, no.
I've quit the sports bet account, so that's good.
Yeah, good man.
No, it's been terrible.
Save some coin.
I really have, mate. It hasn't been a great ride the last few months, but have to make changes.
Yeah, that's the way, mate.
So those are our tips for round 14 of the AFL season. Feel free to comment your tips in the comment section below, and don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it, and share it around, and also subscribe. That's one of the most important buttons on the channel.
It is.
Or video as well, so get onto that. The more support, the more videos almost. Or
it'd be good to get quite a few. That's the goal.
We want 500. It's a sort of medium-term goal. Long-term goal is 1,000. We get to that, mate. Oof.
It's ambitious, but
we can do it.
We've got to try and get there. So
You got to dare to dream, mate. As a mentor once said to you.
We'll dare to dream, mate.
We will. All right, awesome. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you all next time.